It is understatement for me to say that I'm proud of you, God's men. Your record of loyalty, your record of discipline, the task of keeping this country one and united. Hip, hip, hip!
My name is Nekme Obasogie. I'm here to highlight the political climate of Nigeria under the military rule. Between 1966 and 1999, 33 years, the country was mainly under the domination of military rule. But in 1979, Major General Olusegun Obasanjo tried to restore democracy in the country. Alhaji Shehu Shagari was elected as the second democratic president of Nigeria. However, the civilian government didn't last long after a military coup led by Major General Muhammadu Buhari brought the country back to a military rule in 1983. Major General John C. Aguiyi-Ironsi captured power and became the first military head of state of Nigeria after the first military coup that was organized by few majors in the Nigerian army in January 15, 1966. Aguiyi-Ironsi was the senior Nigerian officer in the military at that time. The coup deposed the civilian government and led to the killings of the highest ranked politicians in the northern and western regions of the country. Tafawa Balewa, who was the first prime minister of Nigeria, was also killed.
Functions of federal military government will be exercised by the Supreme Military Council, and details of which will be announced later. Permanent secretaries in charge of federal ministries will continue in their office, carrying out the normal functions of government, and they shall be directly responsible to federal military government when constituted.
Apparently, every military head of state at that time came out with a justification of why they overthrew the previous government. The first military coup that brought Aguiyi-Ironsi into power was justified on the corruption that was existing among civilian politicians. During the press conference, one of the journalists asked if whether or not his administration is going to be a permanent or a caretaker administration. Just listen to his reply.
General, whether he regards his administration as a permanent or a caretaker administration.
My main concern is to restore law and order as soon as possible.
However, Aguiyi-Ironsi's leadership did not last long. He was only in power for a few months before being murdered in a bloody counter coup led by the Northerners in July 1966. General Yakubu Gowon seized power after the counter coup against Aguiyi-Ironsi. Few months after Gowon came into power, the country was engulfed with political and tribal tensions, which led to the killings of thousands of Igbos in the northern part of the country.
I therefore put before you the following forms of government for consideration. A federal system with a strong central government. Federal system with a weak central government. Confederation. Or an entirely new arrangement which will be peculiar to Nigeria and which has not yet found its way into any political dictionary.
The tribal tensions and political conflicts after the first coup is what later led to the Nigerian Civil War. Prior to the war, thousands of Igbos were being persecuted and marginalized in the northern part of the country. In 1967, after tensions have reached a boiling point, the Nigerian Civil War broke out as the Easterners formed the Republic of Biafra and declared secession from Nigeria. Over 100,000 soldiers and 1 million civilians were killed in the Civil War, also known as Biafran War. Gowon's aim for the Civil War was to keep Nigeria one. During the war, the sign that says "to keep Nigeria one is a task" was posted all over the country.
We've got men able to do the task of keeping this country one and united, the task of making everyone in this country and every African proud of being a Nigerian or an African. Hip, hip, hip!
According to history, the incessant killings of the Igbos in the country at that time and the control over oil production in Biafra land led to the Civil War. During the war, Gowon came out with a slogan that says, "To keep Nigeria one is a task." In 1970, some Biafra secessionists decided to surrender after Ojukwu, who was the mastermind of the Civil War, fled the country.
I, Major General Philip Effiong, officer administering the government of the Republic of Biafra, now wish to make the following declaration. That we affirm we are loyal Nigerian citizens and accept the authority of the Federal Military Government of Nigeria. That the Republic of Biafra hereby ceases to exist.
In 1975, the third coup was organized against General Gowon's government. General Murtala Muhammad grabbed power and became the third military head of state of Nigeria. Gowon was not in the country when the third coup was carried out. He was attending a meeting of leaders of the 46 member countries of the Organization of African Unity in Kampala, Uganda. General Yakubu Gowon was attending a meeting in Kampala, Uganda when the third coup was carried out. He was actually in the middle of the meeting when he was told that his government has been overthrown.
This very much, and with regard to the black peoples all over the world, I think as the
comment from you, sir. We heard that there had been overthrown. Have you heard these?
I've seen the various in the Reuters report. Yes. Look, I've got no comments to make at this stage. Okay. You are going to continue attending this meeting.
From all indication, a new government has been established in Nigeria. I wish to state that I, on my part, have also accepted the change and pledge my full loyalty to my nation, to my country, and the new government.
General Murtala's administration led to the removal of some high-ranking politicians and officials from power, and many were tried for corruption charges. This was an effort to differentiate his government from that of Yakubu Gowon's regime. During his short time in office, the Nigerian government took over all broadcasting and media platforms.
Events of the past few years have indicated that despite our great human and material resources, the government has not been able to fulfill the legitimate expectations of our people. Nigeria has been left to drift.
On February 13, 1976, Murtala Muhammad was assassinated in his black Mercedes-Benz car en route to his office at Danda Barracks in Lagos. He was only 37 years old. The coup was led by Lieutenant Colonel Buka Sunka Dinka. Major General Olusegun Obasanjo, who was the chief of staff under the regime of Murtala Muhammad, became the military head of state of Nigeria. The death of Murtala Muhammad threw the whole country into confusion and fear about the brutality of military rule in Nigeria. General Olusegun Obasanjo, who was the chief of staff under the regime of Murtala Muhammad, became the military head of state in 1976.
The military government is convinced that we must produce what we need. We must curtail our appetite for what we do not produce. To ensure this, we have directed all efforts at laying the basis for the emergence of indigenous capital and innovative ability.
General Obasanjo did not participate in the 1975 military coup, although he supported the coup and General Murtala. Obasanjo was subsequently made the deputy under the regime of Murtala Muhammad and was also